In my work, I've had the good fortune to meet with and learn from women from all walks of life who are already planning for, or maybe they're already living their life in retirement, or as I like to say, their post-career lives. These women have served as my mentors, my teachers, and my inspiration in terms of living my own intentional life and assisting other women to do the same. I've amassed a great amount of material, ideas, resources, tips, etc. from these women. And what I started to notice over time, and there were from the do's and don'ts of how to live this part of our lives to lessons learned to how daunting a task it can be to even think about planning for a 20 to 30 year period that we'll probably spend in retirement. I started noticing as I was gathering this information that there was a lot of consistencies. I started hearing the same things frequently. And I'd like to share one of those tips that I heard time and time again from these women who were living this part of their lives or planning for and doing it with a great deal of success. So the first tip that I'd like to share with you is work like crazy to imagine your future self. Who is she? Who is that woman that you're going to be in this period of your life called retirement? What does she like to do? How does she live her life? All very exciting things to do to start thinking about that. In fact, research has shown that the more you try to get to know your future self, who she is, the more you will start acting as if you are her, taking better care of yourself, doing those things that you know she'll love to do. You'll start doing it before you even start living that part of your life. Time and time again, it shows that the more you get to know her, become her friend, the more successful you will be in becoming that future self. Again, a daunting task. So how does one even go about starting to think about who she is? Well, first, go out, buy yourself a beautiful journal. Take your calendar and start carving out those periods of time throughout the day, throughout the week, that you will spend time trying to envision who she is. And oh, by the way, grab your favorite beverage so that it will be something you look forward to each and every week, day, however you're going to do it. And I'd like to start you off with this journal by giving you some prompts. So here's prompt number one. First of all, that future self, that woman that you're going to become, what is she going to stop doing? What will she continue to do? And what will she start doing? So stop doing, continue to do, and start doing. The second thing I'd like you to think about is get in her shoes. Start to act as if you're this woman. What does she like to do? Where is she volunteering? How is she spending her time? Who's going to be part of her circle? Is she traveling? Is she volunteering? Is she working? You're starting to define who she is. Then you start to think about, if you take the area of volunteering, start to brainstorm all the different things that she might be interested in volunteering for. Brainstorm, throw out a bunch of ideas on paper. Then the next thing I'd like you to do is go out and test them out. In other words, you don't have to get fully engrossed and ingrained in volunteering for a food bank or whatever. Just call and find out what it might require. And maybe you can go in for a day, a month, or whatever to explore what it might be like to volunteer there. And for those things that you're testing out, try out as many different things as she might be involved in, who she's working, who she's hanging out with, whatever she's doing. Try those scenarios as much as you can. On your next vacation, on your next day off, on the weekends, whatever it is, test them out. And then finally, those things that you know right up front, this is not me, this is not who I am, go back and think about something else you could do. Just take the time to get in her shoes and think about who she is. And finally, I always like to say, decide what her intentions are going to be. Intentions are very powerful. There are guiding principles. They're who define us. There are feelings that we want to bring into that part of our lives. I like to give you an example of one of my intentions. One of my intentions is that I want to lead a life with intention that I look forward to getting up every morning to embrace. That's one of my intentions, one of my foundations. Now, I'd like to offer you a challenge to finish out our time together. And here's what I'd like you to do. For the next 7 days, I would like you to take a look at your future self and start looking at all of your roles currently. Are you a mom? Are you a partner or wife? Are you a grandmother? What are you? And I want you to start thinking about how you might redesign those roles, right? That's what I'd like you to do. Redesign those things by asking yourself the question, what if I, or imagine if I, who could I be as a grandmother? Imagine if I could be the grandmother that I want to be. What would she look like? Then for the remaining days, so that's day number 1. The next days, I'd like you to do the same exact thing. So imagine if I, or what if I, and now start looking at your work life. Imagine if I did my work week differently. What would that look like? What could it look like? What might I think about for the future? Do the same thing on the next day with your leisure time, your personal development. What do I want to learn? What are the ways that I want to give back? What are the things that will be, I would love to spend time doing? How about your wellness? Your future self, what will she be doing? Again, imagine those things. Start writing them out. Ways to give back, as I've mentioned, and certainly all the things you would like to learn. You're going to amass in your journal a lot of great information that will help you to really envision your future self. I know you'll like her. I know you'll become fast friends with her. I'll know you'll be excited about being that person. If you would like to continue to learn more things like this, please follow me on Facebook. I will be doing videos and reels and all sorts of things. If you'd like to be part of my mailing list, let me know that as well by direct messaging me and letting me know you'd like to be added. I'll be sending out newsletters and guides and articles and all sorts of things that are relevant to this part of your life. And finally, thanks for looking. Thanks for joining me today. Thanks for taking a moment out of your busy day to listen to some of the suggestions I have for you. I hope you'll continue to visit with me in the future. And here's to living your life with intention.